Hey guys, and welcome back to another brand new One Piece video. Today we are talking about a long-running issue in the world of One Piece that's finally boiling over: the sound design. While the anime has reached jaw-dropping visual peaks, especially in Wano and now Egghead arc, many fans, and even more importantly, the animators themselves have called out the audio direction as seriously outdated and uninspired. In this video, we'll explore what key animators like Honehone and even Vincent Chansart himself have said publicly, alongside with some valid criticisms from fans and even a deeper issue rooted in the 20 years of recycled sound effects from Dragon Ball. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so let's begin with Honehone, a top tier animator who delivered some of the most visually stunning moments in the Wano arc. He already made some statement related to it, and one of it is the sound in One Piece is devastatingly bad. I hope something is done about it as soon as possible. This was what was tweeted a long time ago, and this basically means it's not something that is occurred recently, because in this tweet he literally described how heartbreaking it was to see his work paired with what he called terrible sound. He wasn't being petty, he was pointing out a real imbalance. The animation was modern, detailed, cinematic, but the sound design decades behind. This wasn't a one-off run either. Honehone has repeatedly voiced his disappointment and even recently tweeted about it again, something about it's just terrible, fire the sound design team. But then he later deleted the post. That deletion only raised more eyebrows. If animators feel like they can't publicly speak out, that is a problem. Then you have Vincent Chansart, another big name in the One Piece animation world. In a behind the scene tweets, he explained how he tried to give Luffy's name attack a typhoon feeling, something epic and Yonko level, like a natural disaster. And then he dropped the line, "Oh lordy, Lord sound design." It's subtle but powerful. Here's an animator who gave his all to create a moment that feels massive, and the sound didn't follow through. That disconnect between vision and execution is a recurring theme. Both he and Honehone are not just trying or not just making cool animation, they're trying to tell stories through impact. But when the audio doesn't sell the moment, the weight is lost. And the issue isn't just internal. Fans with trained eye and ear are pointing it out too. Twitter user Josefumi made a thread calling out the repetitive and fatiguing audio in the latest episode. This is what he said: "Whoever the sound designer for this episode is clearly doesn't understand audio fatigue. Don't play the exact same sound at the same pace 23 times in a row. The viewer will get sick of it." And it's true, we've all felt that moment when a fight sounds stale, not because of the choreography, but because we're hearing the same stock punch again and again with no variation. It's immersion breaking. Josefumi also added, "Imagine working so hard to reach this level of quality and then they do this." That's not just critique, it's empathy. It shows how frustrating it must be for the animators watching their hard work undercut by a soundboard that hasn't evolved. And here's a kicker: a lot of these issues come from the reuse of sound effects that date all the way back to Dragon Ball. Yes, One Piece has been recycling literally the same exact punches, whooshes, energy blasts, and impacts from Dragon Ball for over 20 years. Sure, you can say, both of this anime came from the same studio with pretty much, I'm pretty sure, the same sound director, Hidenori Arai. Sure thing, you can use pretty much the same iconic, quote-unquote iconic sound effects again and again. Look at where we're at right now. We are in the modern animation era with still using the same sound effects from 20 years ago. And while it may have been charming or nostalgic or iconic at first, now it just feels outdated and out of sync with how cinematic One Piece has evolved to, with how great looking One Piece is right now. The problem isn't just the age, it's the mismatch. Modern One Piece is dynamic, fluid, and it's just on another level compared to the sound design. But the sound effects library is still stuck in 2003. The tone just doesn't match. It's heartbreaking, honestly. Sure, I don't watch One Piece, I haven't finished even the 5th arc of this particular anime, but for the people who actually cares, like the animators, they are pushing their limits. They are reinventing Sakuga standards. They are telling us we're doing our part. But the sound direction, whether it's due to budget, time, or just complacency, is holding everything back. And now the cracks are visible even to the casual viewer. This isn't a call to cancel One Piece or to hate on the stuff or like, just like we hate the sound design, the sound director whatsoever. It's a call to evolve. Toei has the talent. They just need to invest in audio that matches the visual quality. So here we are. We have gone through the Gear 5th and a lot more incredible looking visuals that are literally legendary, but the sound design feels like it's still catching up. With animators, fans, and critics all saying the same thing, it's time for Toei to listen. New era, new standard, the Straw Hats deserve it. And so do the fans. Sure, you might say it's the iconic thing about One Piece to have this type of sound design or sound effects, whatever it is, but most of the time, the audio itself is just terrible. I'm not even sure what I'm listening to. So if a One Piece fan asks me to close my eyes and listen to the sound effects that is from One Piece, I don't even know where this show is coming from. Because I would say, oh, this is something from like the 80s, because what the hell is this sound effect? I'm not a One Piece hater. I love this show. It's just that I don't really have the time to continue it, and I'm pretty sure at the Alabasta arc, and I'm enjoying this show. And obviously, since the Alabasta arc is pretty much a very long time ago, I don't really care about the sound effects during then. But now that we have some of the greatest visuals, some of the best appearance of One Piece on the screen right now, and we're still getting those sound effects, it's just heartbreaking to see. And I'm not even trying to become a hater. I love this show. I just feel bad for the One Piece fans out there that literally have one of the best looking show right now with one of the worst sound design, sound direction that has ever touched anime screen, like my screen even. This particular show literally has almost like the perfect imagery of an anime. You have incredible visually appealing animation with insane story and plot that has been ongoing for such a long time, but you are having this type of soundboard? Like, what in the world is that? Sure, this is just a video about me complaining and literally just talk about what the others are saying, but it's true. The sound effects or the sound designs of One Piece really needs an upgrade, or else we will be stuck in the 80s with all of these sound effects. Some people are gonna say, oh, it's for the cartoonish effect because Luffy Gear 5 is yada yada yada, you don't understand the context. Sure, okay, let's just give all of those cartoonish effects on Luffy. Well, what about Kizaru, the guy? What are those effects? Care to explain? But yeah, those are basically it. What do you guys think about this particular issue that has been ongoing since forever? Please let me know in the comment section. Those are basically it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.